to Pastor Dixon through his mother. Okay. So I normally would have all of you all come up here, but I'm just going to let him come up as a representative because there's so many of you. We have a crowd up here. And do we have a picture of your matriarch up here?
Woo!
This is my mother right here, Emma B. Dixon. Emma B. Woods Dixon. This is my grandmother, Sula B. Mathis Woods. And that's her grandfather. That's my great grandfather. That's her grandfather, Jim Mathis. But this is my mother and my grandmother right there. And this is my aunt, Cousin Pete. This is my aunt, my mother's sister, Cousin Pete's mom.
So these results are going to be the same for all of you. And even though we talked about your sons, so your sons don't have your yellow dye, but they still got 25% of their DNA from your mother. And they still got 12.5% of their DNA from your grandmother. So it's still part of who you are. But if you were to take the test and trace your yellow dye, it would go to your mom and her mom and so on. And the results probably will be different. They may not be. Y'all might have been cousins in another ancestry. So tell us again, Pastor Dixon, why you decided to trace your ancestry, and what do you expect? Do you have any ideas about what I'm going to tell you?
Well, my sister Azealia Saeed, standing right there. Raise your hand, Azealia. This is my big sister. I'm the youngest of 8. She started asking my grandmother questions. My grandmother was born in 1898, and as time went, my sister would ask her questions about history. So about 25 years ago or more, I was curious about it, so she asked me. And so we started talking, so she started sharing with me, and then I did the research, started doing research, DNA, going to Ancestry.com, and then 5 years ago I did my paternal DNA. And like you said, if you know you have white ancestry somewhere in the line, you know where it's going to come from. But I was curious to find out my maternal side, and I said, I have to find out this. I have to find out where Mom is from, what that line is like. And I had an idea, but I'm not really sure yet. But
What do you think? Tell us.
I thought about Sierra Leone one time, only because, and I was thinking about that only because I was doing some tracing on my father's side with his mother's side. But I'm not sure.
So if we were to do your father's mother's side, we would need someone with his yellow dye. So it would have to come from one of his siblings or one of his sister's children. That would give you that woman.
One of his sister's children.
Or one of her children could do it. That would give you that line. Your father's mother.
Cousin Kurt? Cousin Kurt. Cousin Kurt. Yeah.
Yeah, call Cousin Curtis. So, we did find your, come closer, you're standing out far away. I'm not going to bite you. We did find your ancestry on the west coast of Africa, in a very tiny country that was colonized by the Portuguese. And so they speak Portuguese as their official language. I also decided to look up, based on a comment that you made, if any of you saw me, I wasn't texting people, I was looking up the main religion in the country is actually a mix of traditional African religion and Islam.
Wow.
But there is a population that practices Christianity. It's known for the calabash instrument. Wow. It's also known for this instrument called the akanting. And the akanting is like a lute. And so the akanting gave rise to the lute, which gave rise to the banjo. So you can see how all the types of music that we enjoy today descend from that instrument.
Wow.
And so it is with great pleasure that I reveal that your maternal ancestry, any guesses based on that information? Not Angola. Wait up, we gotta get the technology going.
Come on.
Y'all need to share a video.
For real.
Woo, now we're hanging. It's not me causing the suspense anymore. Hold on.
You're making me mad.
Hold on.
Is yours
So it's not Angola. Any other guesses?
Just tell us. Yeah, no. You ran
Cape
out.
Verde? Nope. Not Cape Verde.
We're ready. Portuguese. At that time, the Portuguese had a lot of, they had a lot of, I can't think of the word, but they owned a lot of territory when it comes to,
I know, yeah.
so.
It could be anywhere.
You
Yeah.
tell us.
All right.
All right, come on.
I can't. He's not here. All right. Everybody ready?
Yes.
We found your ancestry among the Djola and the Fula people living in Guinea-Bissau today.
Wow.
And Guinea-Bissau is this little tiny country here that's bordered by Senegal and Guinea. And then here's Sierra Leone. So at one point, this region has a lot of shared lineages, but we didn't find, the people we found for you are actually living in Guinea today. The Djola and the Fula. Congratulations.
Wow.
And you know, the Fula are part of the Fulani who are nomadic.
I'm done.
So those of you know that there are Fulani. They're Fulani everywhere. They're Fulani in Cameroon, Nigeria. They're Fulani everywhere. But we have those Fulani lineages. You didn't match with the Fulani in Cameroon. You didn't match with the Fula in Senegal. You didn't match with the Fulani in Nigeria. You matched with the Fula in Guinea-Bissau.
Wow.
Wow.
And so your results package comes with a certificate. It says, "Welcome to the African Ancestry Family." And inside, there's a certificate of ancestry that we hereby certify that Carl B. Dixon and everybody else in here shares maternal genetic ancestry with the Djola and Fula people living in Guinea-Bissau today, based on a master plan analysis dated October 7, 2004, signed by Rick Kittles, PhD, Scientific Director. And then there's a letter that includes your yellow dot. So this is your yellow dot here. So you can see your bold letters, the places where you're different than everyone else. And then we have this explanation of how we found two groups, right? So you might be wondering, how can I be Djola and Fula? Which one am I? We can't tell because we actually found identical matches. So every letter in your sequence matches every letter of the sequences of people who are Djola and people who are Fula. You'll have to talk to Dr. Jeffries, but I would suspect at some point those people were the same.
Yes. Yes.
Genetically, they're the same, but culturally, traditionally, socially, they have different beliefs which form the different groups. So it could be like, if I don't know what, does your church have a denomination?
No.
Okay, so we know that you could have, my grandmother is Baptist.
Yes.
And she lives in Philly. My aunt, who lives in St. Louis, who is her daughter, goes to a Protestant church. They have the same lineage, but they belong to different types of churches. That's sort of a general way to explain how you can belong to two groups. And then we have this brochure, Now That You Know. So we don't want you to just, you're from Guinea-Bissau, nice to meet you. I am going back home, but gotta go. It's not like that. But we have a map here so you can see where the countries are on the continent, We have an explanation of the yellow dot and the blue dot. You can see all the people in the family who share the same ancestry with you. I see some Christmas gifts coming up. You might get some certificates for the people in the room. And then we have an online community. So you can go onto the online community and talk to other people.